Okay, so from our lesson today, and I'll just update those who might have been absent and also those who might have forgotten how to do it. So if you type in Geogebra, that's a connection with geometry and algebra, and we click on Geogebra Classic, and you get this nice little menu here. Now, the automatic opening here allows you to do different packages, but I'm just going to ignore that. I'm going to just use this. Now, we don't really need a coordinate grid in here because we're going to draw some circles, but I'm going to keep the squared paper because I quite like it. So if we click on the icon on the right here, you should be able to click on the axes and turn them off. Brilliant. So now we're just going to draw a number of circles on here. Now, on the top toolbar here, there's various drawing tools. I can see a circle there. Click, and I choose the first one, circle with center through point. Click. Now here, what you have to do is just click once, and then kind of just gently stroke your finger across your keyboard. Click. All right. And then if it starts to draw another circle here, always go back to this arrow and it turns off the last tool. All right. So sometimes you find that as you're trying to move around and do something else on the screen, it's still trying to make you do the last thing that you did, right? So back to the arrow, and then you can grab and move things around. I can even click and grab this circle and move it around. If I click any point on the circle, well, it kind of just makes it woo, all right? If I click B, it will make it bigger and smaller. And if I click the circumference here, it will just drag it around, okay? So let's go and draw some more circles. I'm going to draw 5 circles. Click, open, click, click, open, click, click, open, click, and click, open, click. Now what I also want to do, we don't need to worry about any of the stuff on the left. This is actually the algebra part. These are equations that will give these circles if we put the axes back in place. But we're going to just ignore those for now. I can actually click, I think I can hide this, can I? Click and close. Yeah, so I can hide all the sidebar there. We can just get a nice little picture here. So now I want to draw a diameter. Now a diameter goes all the way across the circle through the center. We're going to click on this little tool and we're going to draw a line. Now, I'm going to click on point F, I'm going to click on point E, and can you see I've managed to get all the way through this circle. I'm going to do the same for each of the circles. Click on B, click on A, click on D, click on C, click on H, click on G, and click on, was it J? Then click on I. Those two look to be quite close. Back to the little arrow, and now I'm going to move this circle out of the way so it doesn't overlap so much. So I'm pretty happy with that. Click on the edge of the circle, you can move them so they don't overlap so much. Maybe this one I'll move up a little bit. Yeah, okay. Now I'd like to actually measure the diameter here and also the circumference. But first I'm going to put a little extra point on this little spot here. So if I click on, this looks to be a point, right, A, and I'm going to do the intersection point. So find where this line intersects with the circumference, click, and then go ahead and do that for all 5 of your circles. Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Excellent. Now, I wonder if we can do this one next step. I didn't show you this in class, but watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose a line segment. Now, a segment is a piece of a line. A line's actually infinite in length on both sides. So let's go and draw a segment now from B all the way across. Now, that's the actual diameter, right? Now, you don't really see it appearing because it's drawn over the big long line. But let's go and put a segment across a segment, right? You can see it just opens up. Click, click. Not to there, but to the other side of the circle, and click to here. Now the reason I did this because I'm going to show you a magic tool now. On the final little tool here with the arrows, click, you can show hide object. Now I'm going to go hide all those big long lines because they're a bit of a mess, right? So if I go click on each of the big long lines, can you see they're already becoming quite faded? Right, beautiful. Now go back to your main arrow. Boom. And now look at this. We have our circles looking really nice. We've got the diameters on there nice and cleanly now. And we don't have the extra, lines going all the way across. They're still there. I've just hidden them. Yeah. If you want to get them back, you could click on this guy here. Look, it's saying that something's hidden, and you can hide show them again. Yeah. Now I want to get rid of them all. So I'd like to get rid of them all and show hide object, but then I have to go and click on them all again. So sometimes a little backspace arrow here, the undo and the redo is a good friend to have. And again, if you're trying to grab things and move them around, it's not going to work because you've got the wrong tool highlighted. Go back to the arrow. There we go. Oh, now I've hidden the circle here as well. That's great, isn't it? That's hilarious. So let's go and undo that. Nice. Okay. So you can see any mistake you make, you can do the undo. And now we just go and measure stuff, right? So let's go and measure. Now the measuring tool seems quite obvious, this guy here. Oh, I thought it was that because I could see a number there, right? I could see a number, but it doesn't look like that's a measuring tool at all. I can add text, which is quite nice. I didn't realize that. So I could call them circle 1, circle 2. But let's go and find the measuring tool. Ah, there it is, look. Distance or length. Boom. So if you click on E to F, can you see? Oh, that's L now, it's labelled at L, and that's a length of 5.12. And if I click on here, there's a circumference. So click, click, click. So you're getting the diameter of each circle, right, the length of it, and you're getting the circumference. Now notice it's not 2.84 centimetres, it's just the built-in units of the machine. Click, 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 and click, click, click. Go back to the arrow tool. Beautiful. Now I'm just going to move some of these around so I can see them a bit better, right? This goes here, click and drag. Click and drag, click and drag. Kind of like that bit better, right? Click and drag, click and drag, click and drag. I suppose that's a small one. I suppose that's okay there. And so that would make it a bit easier to copy and paste those into a Word document. If you've already done your copy and paste into your Word document, you don't need to update it. It's absolutely fine. And pretty much that's it, right? We've drawn 5 circles. I can draw, a 6th one if I want to. I've measured the diameter and I can see the circumference. And I'm looking for the relationship between diameter and circumference. It looks like 3 times bigger here, about 3 times bigger here. Yeah, it looks like it's the diameter times 3 gives the diameter times 3 gives the circumference, right? Does that work? Diameter times 3 gives circumference. And then one more thing you can do actually is, if you grab one of these points, the blue point, look, you can actually make this circle just a little bit bigger. So I could try and go and choose to make this diameter up to 5. And then the circumference, I think, should be 5 times 3, roundabout. So let's see if we can get there. 5, boom. So 5 times 3 is 15. This is just a bit more than 15, okay? Maybe I could change this one to 8, maybe? Ooh, can't quite get it on 8, right? But it's about 8 there. 3 times 8 is 24, nearly there. So there you go. That's how to use Geogebra and all these nice fancy tools at the top.